Hello, everybody, and welcome to Geoguessr with the Strangelands crew. We have Alzorath here.
Hello.
We have Matt in the hat.
Hello.
And Talkus.
Rejoice!
I am Fixer, and how's everybody doing today?
Pretty good.
Not bad.
I
Anybody
do
get
wells.
Oh, yeah. Anybody get any kids on Halloween?
I would be worried if I did where I live. Be like, where are your parents and why are you out here while it's raining?
Yeah, it was raining here as well.
There were a couple of drunk people in the hallway. I'm not sure if that counts or not.
Probably.
Yeah,
Stuff,
that
Okay.
did work.
Yay! Woo!
stuff some candy in their pockets.
Yeah, that's something I will do.
All right, so last week's weekly champion would be, once again, user 90 for 23,641. I don't think anyone really got too close to it. I think we had one at 21,000, which, I mean, it seems like it's close, but when you get that high, that's a pretty big gap. Well done for yet another win, sir.
Congratulations.
I won 15,000.
There you go. So time to crown a new weekly champion. The seed will be in the description below. Click on it, play along, share your thoughts over in the Geoguessr subreddits. We'd like to see how you did, and is everybody ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes!
Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yay. Load. White screen of goodness. This is a railroad crossing. But the question is, where is the railroad crossing? There's some stabilizers for the power lines there. Not a familiar railroad crossing type, but this road does look like it would be in the US or Canada. So I'm going to go with like northwestern US. Just for now, just to have a place established. It's really flat. Let's go ahead and talk about the frat house on the really flat road. Northwestern North America. We've got a little bit of signage here that we might be able to determine a language if it is indeed English. Highway 483. So, yeah, we got a bunch of the trees that would lead me to believe that it's going to stay in the Northwest. Unless we come across a bunch of non-evergreens, I'm going to try to leave it up there. This actually looks a little bit like Nebraska, if I had to guess. But let's go ahead and move a little bit there. Yeah, let's go like northwest Nebraska, because it is a little bit flat. Actually, let's go a little bit more into central Nebraska, just because of that flatness. Extremely, extremely flat. Could be Kansas as well. Could actually be other places too, but I don't know if it's quite flat enough for Kansas. Kansas also doesn't generally look this green, even like in the summer and spring months, unless you're in a very odd part of it. Of course, these aren't your traditional fields, so what's this a sign of? Sign of the times? Mill Road. So maybe we are in Kansas. Let's go ahead and drop it down there. Usually Kansas for me, whenever I've been through, has always been kind of like a brownish tone as far as like wheat and stuff like that. And I'm thinking it might actually be Kansas. We're going to stick with northern Kansas just because of some of the trees that we've seen. But, oh, we are way off. It's in Alberta.
All right, then.
Hello.
Well, that was an interesting, nice little rail and plant there. But if you go down the road, there was a sign, the Alberta 2. So I went up into Alberta, and when you get to the junction itself, there's a sign for the cities of Peace River and Nampa. So I get pretty close, 29 kilometers away for 4906. How'd you do, Al?
I did not see that sign, so I guessed in Kansas.
It was a pretty flat area.
Yeah, it was
so
flat as hell.
Yeah, so that's not a bad guess.
I got 1127.
How'd you do, Matt?
I also did not see the sign. Southeast Wyoming for 1638.
Talkus.
At the last moment, I saw a sign for Edmonton, but saw that Edmonton was in Canada, but I wasn't sure. But I thought it looked a bit too far northern for Kansas, so I went with South Dakota and got 1360.
There we go. Round 2. You guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go.
Next round. Hopefully we can make up for it. Holy crap, this is horrible camera work. And there's something on our lens. Google, fix that. We got poop on our lens. Or bug. I'm not quite sure which. This looks like either southwestern US or Australia. Can we get one that's not with shit on the screen? Let's go ahead and skip forward as far as we can. I think I want to go with southwestern U.S. Bonk. Let's make sure we're actually in southwestern U.S. Yes, we are. Let's go with like New Mexico or something like that. Could actually go with Arizona. I'm not going to go with Utah. Utah just doesn't really usually vibe like this because we aren't in the valley. The valley is generally a lot drier than this. You still have some stuff, but it's usually not like this. We could go with Australia, but the things aren't leading me to believe that it is Australia. And we still have schmutz all over our lens. Kind of curious whenever that one hit. They need to update this one just to get the schmutz off the lens because it's pissing me off. Oh, can we find some good roads? Not going to find any kind of real information as far as the actual signs or anything like that. And I keep seeing slightly better quality versions as we kind of come in here and see little snippets of it kind of like loading up, but it doesn't want to load the high quality for us. We could actually go a bit more northwest. Let's go up here into like, let's go southeastern Utah, because that actually is plausible. Let's see what this sign says. Let's back up just one, and the schmutz is right in the way of the sign that would probably be extremely helpful. Lordy, we have 4 seconds left. Not going to find anything here. And we're too far away from it now to actually do anything with it. Ah, it was up in Montana.
Oh, wow.
That explains the not feeling like
So
Utah,
my original thought, and I'm sure yours was too, was Australia. Until I noticed that there were mountains in the background, and I saw the mile marker on the right-hand side, and eventually got down the road far enough to see another car on the right-hand side. So I guessed on the border of Montana and Wyoming and got 4111. How'd you do, Al?
I guessed in southeastern Utah because I was going to go like with New Mexico or something like that. The schmutz on the camera was irritating the crap out of me. But yeah, I got 2796.
Matt?
South Central Utah, 2935.
And Talkus?
Man, it's whenever it's an American gas fixer guess and whenever it's a European guess to get, so why can't we have more Indian or Scotland guesses? It's not fair. I went with Utah for 2962.
Oh, so nobody took the bait on Australia, eh?
Nope.
Nope.
It didn't seem red enough for Australia to me. And I also don't think the markings looked very Australian. Also saw miles an hour.
Puddles of water on the side of the road.
All right, round 3. You guys ready?
Yes.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
Muting again. Okay, we've got way more lush than our previous ones. This looks like it might be down in Brazil. But it is a major road. Let's go ahead and go down here, and we're going to drop one in northeastern Brazil until we can find something else that might indicate where we are at. We've got a bunch of palm trees. We've got a rather large a truck that passed us. This has a modern car, and what are you? What the hell are you? Blurry is what you are. Can we get a good view of that? It's got flammable goods. This looks like something you would find down in Brazil. I'm going to go a little bit more central here. Kind of central and east, maybe? Of course, Amazon is to the west, so we want to go south and east. Going to keep going straight on here. See if we can get some signs going for us, which would be really kind of nice. Can we skip ahead, please? Thank you. Not seeing any pants, which is our big indicator of Brazil here. Ooh, but we do have a sign. What does this sign say on the front? We're not interested in the back. Neo Ultipass. Let's go ahead and get a straight-on view of it. Faxia Continua. And probably something about do not pass. I don't know for sure, though. So we're going to keep going, and hopefully we'll run into like a city or something like that, or some place that truck was coming from. It's not exactly very clear to me just yet. What do we have here? Probably another sign saying much the same. No, it says something different. Darodova. I am not sure. I'm really not sure. I do think we're on the right continent, though, and we're getting closer to cities, so I'm going to go ahead and move a little bit further east. Don't want to be too much... Actually, let's go a little bit further south. Oh, I was closer the first time.
All right, so I don't know. Looked warm weather. We got palm trees and whatnot. First thought was Brazil. Eventually, I ran into a sign that had attention on it in Portuguese. So, I don't know. I figured it was probably closer to the Amazon. I guessed in the north of Brazil, and I got 2008. How'd you do, Al?
My first guess would have been closer than what I am now. I just kind of started going around Brazil and moving my guess marker around. Ended up with 884 points. Got it in Brazil, though.
Nice, Matt.
I put it basically just above where the word Brazil is. I got 2134.
And Tulkus.
Ooh, there's a town called Ecuador along the equator. That's cool. I felt like the road would be well maintained to be in the jungle, so I guessed where these things usually are and got 1761.
Alrighty, next round. You guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go.
I have lost this one. We're at round 4 of 5, and I am pretty well damn near lost. This looks like we're back up in Alberta. Let's see, what does the road signs look like? Ridge Road, TWP Road. I'm gonna go with Alberta again because of the blue signs. The blue sign just kind of does a weird thing for me. I don't think most places here use blue signs. They tend to use green, if memory serves. Rural Crime Watch area. Okay, that's English, so at least we know we're in an English-speaking country. What's your... You are way far past us. Let's keep going up this way. This actually looks more like Kansas than the other places we've been. So I could go with Nebraska here. I'm not sure which states have the blue signs and which ones have the red signs. Can't read that one. So not too much. Do we come back down here? Do we go for Nebraska? Chances of it being another Alberta guess is so slim, though. Really tough decision here. I'm gonna keep it in the U.S. Maybe we'll get a nice long shot out of it. Let's just keep moving up the road, see if we find some other indicators of where we're at. That blue sign is throwing me off a little bit. It's making me doubt my decision. I'm probably going to regret my decision to move the marker there. But we do have a lot more brown here, which is more kind of like your southern kind of thing, like Kansas and stuff like that. This does look more like Kansas, at least superficially. It's flat with a bunch of crap on it. A bunch of wheat, usually. Ridge Road. This is gonna drive me nuts. Those blue signs are making me really doubt what I'm thinking here. Can we go all the way up there? Oh, we're out of time. It's Alberta. Dang it.
Yep. If you go down the street, there is that blue sign on the lawn, which is usually what they have in Canada. So my first guess was in southern Saskatchewan. And then you run across a road sign that said Camrose, Daisyland, and Viking. I don't know where any of those are, but I did see an Alberta Highway 26 sign. So while looking
where are you
for
finding these signs?
This was at a junction.
I went through plenty of junctions. All I'm finding was rural roads.
Yeah, this was a junction, and it was for Highway 26. I couldn't find Highway 26, but while looking for it, I found Camrose, and then I found Daysland, but I couldn't find Viking, but it was close enough for 4939. How'd you do, Al?
1444.
Matt? Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Matt.
1286.
Tulkus?
This circular lake thing here always gets me, or river, or whatever it is. I saw the same sign as Fixer, saying that it was Alberta. However, I could not make out whether it was saying Arkansas or Alabama. So after much deliberation, I decided that it sounded slightly more like Arkansas, and so I guessed Arkansas for 971.
I think Arkansas uses the shape of their state on their signs.
I have been enlightened.
Now you can go on living your life.
Thank you, Fixer, for this great boon you have given me.
Round 5, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I guess they're gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and go.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yep. This looks like Australia. Sorry for the dog barking in the background. It's a annoying freaking dog. Let's go ahead and go east. And we're going to go with Eastern Australia here. I'm not really sure why this one says Australia to me, but it could be US as well. Yeah, this might very well be. That looks more like US. We're going to go back up here to the US, and we're going to guess in our usual Kansas spot and our usual Kansas time. Yeah, and the signs look American as well. So let's go ahead and we'll skip down this way. We're going back along our path, I believe. We're going to see some houses down here, which might lead us closer to civilization. I don't know where he's finding these signs that say all these Alberta and shit, but I am not finding them myself. So my guess is going to be crap in 2 minutes. I really wish I had that kind of luck. Okay, this is a granary. There might be a business bit of information on there. Let's go ahead and skip over here to the granary and see what it says on there. Nothing, actually. It's just going to be a small, like, private one, I would guess, instead of a business-owned one. So we're going to go ahead and keep on skipping by. No trespassing sign over there on the left is very US-oriented as well. And we're not really finding too much here. It's just not going to give us any kind of, like, really useful information unless I can find a town or a bit of information that is, you know, sufficient to actually help me here. Let's go ahead and look at someone's mailbox. It does not show anything. Do we have a sign up here possibly on the top of one of these poles that tells us something? That is going to be Gilsdorf.
So once again, my original thought was Australia, but after a while I realized I was driving on the right hand. We were on the right hand side. The stop signs were on the right hand side. Eventually, I made it to a paved road, and I saw some signs, Highway 80 and whatnot. I was looking in Wyoming, and I found Highway 80 in Wyoming. I dropped it and got 3032. How'd you do, Al?
3919. I guessed Kansas.
Matt?
I found Highway 80 in Pennsylvania? Yes, and so I got 1740.
Talkus?
I saw the city names of Columbus, Geneva, and Lincoln, and those are the most generic city names I could possibly think of. Although it was probably Washington. Those three in Washington, most generic, NA.
But Lincoln is a capital.
I assume there are multiple cities called Lincoln. Like just throwing it out there. Because, like, if I was a dude and I wanted to found a city, there's a good chance I'm calling it Lincoln. Because, like, you know, Lincoln? No? Am I insane? Apparently I'm insane. Anyway, I guessed Ohio, because I thought it looked a bit like Ohio, and I got 228.
It was very, very flat.
Yeah, it was pretty flat.
That is Ohio.
Yeah, that's true. Ohio's pretty flat. All right.
I'm afraid to look at the summary. My score sucks this time.
I had a pretty good round. It's about damn time. But there were several in the US, and that, of course, helped. Well, we had none in Russia, none in Australia, none in Europe. It was all Americas. So I got
no Indianas.
Yep, and no Indianas. I got 18,996. How'd you do, Al?
10,170.
Matt.
9,733.
And Talkus.
Talkus got less than half of Fixer's score at 9282.
Lovely. So maybe I can compete with maybe the second tier of top guys this week.
Yay! I can compete with the bottom tier.
All right, well, if you guys played along with us, make sure you go to the Geoguessr subreddit and post your scores. We want to see how you did. See if you can beat my score of 18,000, and then, of course, Nighty's inevitable score of about 23,000. So
Bye.
thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
But